In a world of constant distractions, information overload, and ever-increasing stress, many of us find ourselves searching for a way to navigate life with greater ease and purpose. What if I told you that an ancient philosophy, born over 2 millennia ago, could provide us with practical tools to face our modern challenges? Welcome to the world of Stoicism. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or maintaining a stiff upper lip, as popular misconceptions might suggest. Instead, it's a profound and practical philosophy that teaches us how to cultivate inner peace, resilience, and virtue in the face of life's ups and downs. Today, we'll explore how the wisdom of ancient Stoics can be applied to our daily lives, helping us become more content, focused, and ethically grounded individuals. But before we dive into the practical applications, let's take a brief journey back in time to understand the origins and key figures of this influential philosophy. Stoicism emerged in Athens around 300 BCE, founded by Zeno of Citium. However, it was in Rome that Stoicism reached its zenith and produced some of its most influential thinkers. The philosophy spread rapidly throughout the ancient world, influencing people from all walks of life, from slaves to emperors. 3 Stoic philosophers, in particular, have had a lasting impact on Western thought and continue to inspire millions today. First, we have Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor. Despite being one of the most powerful men in the world, Marcus Aurelius practiced humility and self-reflection. His personal journal, now known as Meditations, offers profound insights into Stoic practice and remains widely read today. Next, there's Epictetus, who was born a slave but later became a respected teacher. His teachings, recorded by his student Arrian in the Discourses and the Enchiridion, emphasize personal freedom through mastery of one's own mind and attitudes. Finally, we have Seneca the Younger, a statesman and playwright who served as an advisor to Emperor Nero. Seneca's letters and essays provide practical advice on applying Stoic principles to everyday life, addressing topics like anger management, the nature of happiness, and how to cope with adversity. These thinkers, among others, developed and refined the core principles of Stoicism that we still find relevant today. So, what exactly are these principles? At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the concept of virtue as the highest good. The Stoics believed that living a life of virtue, characterized by wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control, was the key to eudaimonia, or human flourishing. They argued that virtue is the only true good, while things typically valued by society, such as wealth, status, or pleasure, are ultimately indifferent to our happiness and well-being. This focus on virtue leads us to another fundamental Stoic principle, the importance of focusing on what's within our control. The Stoics recognized that many external events and circumstances are beyond our influence. Instead of fruitlessly worrying about these externals, they advocated concentrating our efforts on our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, the things we can actually control. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This idea is central to Stoic thought. By shifting our focus to our responses rather than external events, we can maintain our peace of mind regardless of what life throws our way. The third key principle is the acceptance of external events. This doesn't mean passive resignation, but rather a clear-eyed recognition of reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from fighting against the nature of things. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves to act effectively within the realm of what we can influence. These principles might sound simple, but their implications are profound. They offer a framework for living that can help us navigate the complexities of modern life with greater ease and purpose. But how do we actually put these ideas into practice? Let's start with one of the most challenging aspects of human experience: managing our emotions. Contrary to popular belief, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, but about understanding and moderating them. One powerful technique the Stoics used is called negative visualization. This involves regularly imagining losing the things we value: our possessions, our job, our loved ones. While this might sound morbid, the practice actually helps us appreciate what we have more deeply. It also prepares us mentally for potential setbacks, making us more resilient when challenges do arise. For example, imagine briefly what it would be like to lose your smartphone. Really picture it: the inconvenience, the lost contacts, the expense of replacing it. Now, look at your phone. Doesn't it seem a bit more valuable? This simple mental exercise can boost our gratitude and contentment with what we have. Speaking of gratitude, the Stoics were big proponents of this practice long before it became a buzzword in positive psychology. Marcus Aurelius often started his day by listing things he was grateful for. By regularly acknowledging the good in our lives, we can cultivate a more positive outlook and greater satisfaction with our circumstances. Moving on to decision-making, Stoicism offers valuable insights here as well. The Stoic emphasis on reason and logic encourages us to step back from our immediate emotional reactions and consider situations more objectively. When faced with a decision, a Stoic approach would involve carefully examining the facts, considering different perspectives, and choosing the course of action most aligned with our values and long-term well-being. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to consider the long-term consequences of our actions. Seneca advised, "We should always allow some time to elapse, for time discloses the truth." This principle can be particularly valuable in our age of instant gratification. Before making an important decision, try asking yourself, how will I feel about this choice in a week, a month, a year? This future-oriented thinking can help us make wiser, more considered choices. Another crucial area where Stoic principles can be applied is in dealing with adversity. Life inevitably brings challenges, disappointments, and setbacks. The Stoic approach to these difficulties is not to deny or avoid them, but to reframe them as opportunities for growth and learning. Dealing with adversity is where Stoic principles truly shine. When faced with a challenge, a Stoic would ask, "What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger?" This reframing doesn't make the difficulty disappear, but it can transform our relationship with it, turning obstacles into opportunities for personal growth. Take, for instance, losing a job. While undoubtedly stressful, a Stoic perspective might view this as a chance to reassess career goals, develop new skills, or explore previously unconsidered paths. By focusing on what we can control, our attitude and response, we can navigate even significant setbacks with greater resilience and purpose. This leads us to another crucial aspect of Stoic practice: cultivating resilience. The Stoics understood that life is inherently unpredictable and often challenging. Rather than being discouraged by this, they saw it as an opportunity to build mental toughness. One way to develop resilience is through voluntary discomfort. This involves intentionally putting ourselves in mildly uncomfortable situations to build our tolerance for discomfort. It could be as simple as taking a cold shower, fasting for a day, or sleeping on the floor occasionally. The idea is to remind ourselves that we can endure discomfort and that many of our perceived needs are actually just preferences. Now, let's turn our attention to how Stoicism can improve our interpersonal relationships. At its core, Stoic philosophy emphasizes our interconnectedness as human beings and our duty to treat others with justice and kindness. The Stoics advocated for cultivating empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Marcus Aurelius advised, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own." This perspective encourages us to view others' actions with understanding rather than immediate judgment. When someone cuts us off in traffic or is rude to us, instead of reacting with anger, we might consider what circumstances might have led to their behavior. This doesn't excuse poor behavior, but it can help us respond more constructively and maintain our own peace of mind. Another key aspect of Stoic interpersonal philosophy is the focus on personal responsibility. The Stoics believed that while we can't control others' actions, we are fully responsible for our own. This means taking ownership of our words, actions, and reactions in all our interactions. In practice, this might look like avoiding blame and focusing instead on what we can do to improve a situation. For example, if a project at work goes awry, rather than pointing fingers, a Stoic approach would be to reflect on our own role and what we can learn for the future. As we move into more contemporary times, it's fascinating to see how Stoic principles have been adapted and integrated into modern psychological approaches. One notable example is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, one of the most widely used and effective forms of psychotherapy today. CBT shares many similarities with Stoic philosophy. Both emphasize the role of our thoughts in shaping our emotions and behaviors. Just as the Stoics taught that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them, CBT helps people identify and challenge unhelpful thought patterns. For instance, a CBT technique called cognitive restructuring involves examining the evidence for and against our beliefs, much like a Stoic might scrutinize their initial impressions of a situation. This modern therapeutic approach, grounded in ancient wisdom, has helped countless people overcome anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. Another area where we see Stoic influence is in the modern mindfulness movement. While mindfulness has its roots in Buddhist meditation practices, its emphasis on present moment awareness and non-judgmental acceptance of thoughts and feelings aligns closely with Stoic teachings. The Stoic practice of prosok, or attention, involves maintaining constant awareness of our thoughts and actions. This is strikingly similar to mindfulness meditation, where we observe our thoughts without getting caught up in them. Both practices aim to cultivate a calm, clear mind that can respond thoughtfully to life's challenges rather than react impulsively. Many modern productivity and self-improvement techniques also draw inspiration from Stoic principles. The popular practice of journaling, for example, echoes the Stoic tradition of daily self-reflection, as exemplified by Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. Similarly, the idea of focusing on what's within our control is central to many modern time management and goal-setting strategies. By concentrating our efforts on what we can influence and letting go of what we can't, we can work more efficiently and with less stress. As we've explored today, Stoicism offers a rich toolkit for navigating the complexities of modern life. From managing our emotions and making better decisions to building resilience and improving our relationships, Stoic principles provide practical guidance for personal growth and well-being. The core Stoic ideas, focusing on virtue, concentrating on what's within our control, and accepting external events, offer a framework for living that's as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. By incorporating these principles into our daily lives, we can cultivate greater inner peace, resilience, and purpose. But remember, Stoicism isn't about achieving perfection. The ancient Stoics themselves emphasized that the pursuit of wisdom is a lifelong journey. The goal isn't to become an unfeeling sage, immune to life's ups and downs, but to strive continually to be a bit better than we were yesterday. So, I encourage you to explore Stoic practices in your own life. Start small, perhaps with a daily gratitude practice or by taking a moment to reframe a challenge as an opportunity. Experiment with negative visualization or voluntary discomfort. Reflect on your thoughts and actions at the end of each day. As you integrate these practices, you may find yourself better equipped to handle life's challenges, more appreciative of its joys, and more deeply connected to your values and purpose. In a world that often feels chaotic and out of control, Stoicism offers a path to inner tranquility and meaningful living. Remember the words of Epictetus. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. May we all strive to embody this wisdom in our daily lives. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoicism. Until next time, stay curious, stay resilient, and keep philosophizing.